is a new camera, so hopefully you all can hear me. I'm sorry I'm not here again today, but I'll be here tomorrow. So happy Valentine's Day. We're going to make a corsage. If you can see, we're going to start with some deco wire. You can choose any color. I don't have a whole lot of deco wire here, but I have enough for you to use. Okay, you don't need a whole lot of this. Anyway, so you're going to make a corsage, and this is going to be your base for the corsage. You can do this with lots of different stuff. I'm going to show you some different techniques, but today we're going to use the deco wire. So you can use the needle nose pliers. It has both a wire cutter right here and then the needle nose to shape the wire. Okay, so I'm just going to cut off maybe, that's about 9 inches of deco wire. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. And I'm going to just start curling it. You can do whatever you like. If you're really good at shaping wire, that's wonderful. So I'm going to curl it around about 3 times. So you end up with like a little spiral there. Okay, and I'm going to do that to the other side too. I'm going to do the opposite direction for the other side though, so that it creates a better base. Okay. And then you can just kind of make it work. So you've got this little base for your corsage. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is to make a bow. All right, so first we have to tape our wire. Which if you don't have enough, there's some in the back and you just cut it halfway. So we have to tape our wire. Make sure you stretch the tape. Tape the wire halfway down. You're using a 24 gauge wire, so it's nice and thin and it's not too bulky for the corsage, okay? We've got the wire taped halfway down. I'm not gonna make a huge bow, but I'm gonna make enough of a bow that it's gonna cover, you know, enough to put the flowers on. Okay, so I make a loop. I have to twist the ribbon so we end up with the nice shiny side. My bow is going to be pretty small because I don't want it to completely cover the wire, but I want it to have enough of a base so that I can add some flowers to it. So I'm not going to have a huge bow here. Okay. Again, just twisting the ribbon. And I'm going to make a 1, 6, 7 loop bow. When you're done, sorry you couldn't see that. When you're done, you're going to take your taped wire and make sure it is secure. Don't let go before you secure it because you're going to have to start all over again. Okay, if the bow moves, that's not a huge deal. We can just adjust it. So my bow moved and all I have to do is just kind of fan some of these wires or some of these loops out so you end up with a cute little bow like that. So what I am going to do is actually cut off the excess wire. So there's 2 ways that you can do this. You can tie this ribbon or this bow onto the wire, okay, or you can wire it on using the excess wire here. You can see those little wire there, or you can glue it on. Glue doesn't work really well with this because it's just not a big enough base. If you were to curl these down a little bit more, then it might be, but I'm going to use, just for the sake of time, I've already got the wires, I'm going to use the wires. It's probably not the prettiest thing, but, you know, it's working for me right now, so that's what we're going to use here. Okay, and just, again, make sure that it's nice and tight. So I kind of actually twist from both sides so it's nice and tight until I get that on there. And then I can cut the excess wire off. Please make sure that there's no wire left on the floor because Little Pepper is still walking around this classroom when I'm here. Okay? All right. So again, I'm just trying to make sure that it's nice and secure. If it isn't, you can give it another little twist to make sure that it stays. Okay, Again, making sure that it's secure. All right, so you can't really see that, but that's the back side, that's the front side. You can do a little bit bigger bow to make it a little fluffier, but I wanted to be able to see the wire. So basically this is gonna be a tiny corsage, just like that. Again, it's a small corsage. You could even use this for a boutonniere if you wanted to, because some of the male boutonnieres are getting a little bit more extravagant and bigger. So there's that. All right, I always start out with the greens because that's what I like to do. So we're going to start out with some mimosa fern, and this is what you're going to get. It'll be on a table somewhere for you. Okay. I'm going to use the tiny pieces. All right. And I'm just going to cut, it's a small corsage, it's not a big corsage. I'm just going to cut a few tiny pieces off to start with, like this. And I'm going to use my glue. What you can do is actually just get a paper towel, fold it in, you know, multiple sections. Don't use the good paper towels, use the ones on the wall. Multiple sections, and you can do this for, you know, your whole table, because the whole table doesn't need a lot of glue. Okay, I'm gonna get the glue, and without making a huge mess, all right, we're gonna put a little bit of glue right on the paper towel. Again, keep it upright when you're done, because otherwise the glue will come spilling out. Okay. So we're going to use the Plumosas fern that does not have a stem. See, I cut the stem off, and you're just going to dip it in the glue. Okay, so you don't have a lot of glue. You're just going to dip it right just a little bit there. Blow it off until it starts to get a little foggy. That's how you know it's tacky and it's going to stick really nice, okay? So I'm just going to place this between the ribbons. You do not want to see glue, so you don't want a lot of glue, okay? I'm going to do this with all three of the pieces that I have. All three. Let's stick this in here. And there isn't necessarily a rhyme or reason to how I'm putting it. I just put it where I think it should go. Okay. Again, another little bit of glue. If there ends up to be glue strings, wait till it's on and it's dried to pull that up, just like hot glue, okay? And kind of smush the glue between the two loops. So I've got the top that's got a little bit of green here, if you can see that, and then two greens sticking out the bottom like that. I'm gonna do some baby's breath, just a couple little sprigs of baby's breath. Again, dipping the bottom, no stems. Okay, you can see that. I cut off the stem, but I've got a little sprig, keeping the glue there, and then I'm gonna just put this into a couple of different spots between, so that again we don't see any glue. We don't want to see glue. So I put a little bit there, and I'm probably just gonna do a couple to start with, and if I want to put more, then I can put more later. But you want to make sure you have room for your flowers. Okay. Again, those little strings, if you have strings, then ignore them until the end. And if your baby's breath clumps, you can just kind of, you know, move it so it separates a little bit. Okay. With the flowers, I use the biggest flower. You're going to get 3 different flowers, all different sizes. So a large one, a medium one, and a small one. You cut off the stem completely, so you just have the calyx left. And then we're going to put the big one right in the center. Okay. I need a little bit more glue. Make sure the glue gets real tacky, so you blow on it until it gets kind of a foggy film to it. Okay, and then you'll place that one. Okay. And then I'm going to use this next one just right there. So we end up with almost like a triangle. And this one actually has, I don't know if you can see, it has a little bud to it. So we can cut that off and then use it also in the corsage, because sometimes buds are cute. Again, placing it, and if you end up where you can see the calyx or you can see any of the glue, then just make sure you put some baby's breath or something to cover it up. Okay. I'm going to use that little bud. Just put a little bit of glue on. I leave a little bit of stem on the bud so that, because it's short, so that's why I do that. I do have some extra little spots here that don't have, that need, they're blank spots basically. So they need a little bit of coverage in there. One thing we don't want to see is wire or glue or the bottom of stems or any of that stuff. Okay, so that's kind of where the baby's breath comes in, and it helps out a little bit there. So you can take, you know, little pieces of baby's breath and kind of help cover stuff. Okay. You can even have a few extra pieces of Plumosas fern if you want to. Okay, so once it's dry, you can wear it just like that. You could even attach a little bit of extra wire and wear it as a wrist corsage if you like. You can do that too. Can't see it. There we go. Probably be more like that. So the bigger on the bottom, the smaller on the top, and that's what you're making. Just a little corsage. Okay. If you have questions, I think that there's going to be a couple people popping into the room to make sure everything's okay. You can email me if you want to. I may not get it right away, but you are more than welcome to email me. So have a wonderful day. Happy Valentine's Day, and I'll see you on Friday.